All right, so I have my little paint set. I've got water, I've got my book, and I'm just gonna start painting. I like to get a background color. So first I just put a layer of water down because that will allow the paint to move smoother. Alright, so the background here is a lot of green. It's just trees. I'll kind of put that around the edges. Really, the whole thing is going to be green. And I'm leaving a little bit of room at the bottom to be able to write stuff. I probably should write more. I tend to put my whole page as the painting. But that's my favorite part. Okay, I'm gonna wait for that to dry a little bit, but I'm gonna go into before I put the brown, because otherwise it'll spread. And also you do this in layers, so I'm gonna do some darker greens. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Cute puppies.
There's a job. Wow, I could do it.
Morning.
Okay.
Can
I see one?
Sure.
Wow.
Thanks.
Okay. Not just the art, but the
Yeah.
science, huh?
Yeah, it's called nature journaling, and everything is supposed to have a diagram, words, and numbers.
Oh, great. Looks like Sedona or something.
Yeah, this is Sedona. We went over the break. Yeah. But yeah.
Wow, you are so talented.
Wow.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's so sweet of you to say. Thank you.
We'll see today.
Okay, so back there by that tree stump, I did this dead tree
Oh,
just
yeah.
quickly, like a conifer.
A nice way to actually take in the nature, sit down,
It's-
accept it.
Exactly. And it's such I noticed things I would have never noticed otherwise.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
that's gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
Ah, keep up the good work.
Thanks.
Enjoy your day.
You too. Okay. So that was super cool. Just a bunch of people stopped by and asked what I was doing and wanted to see it and talk about it. So I think you probably heard me explain it. Okay, so all I've done is add a little bit of the trunk, just some browns. Not a lot of progress because I had a little conversation. That's okay. So now I'm going in and I'm looking for shadows on the tree. So I'm going in on the left side, there's a lot of dark shadows. Kind of go up the branches. Now for me, I'm really trying to capture everything in this branch, in this tree. So I want to make sure I kind of like pay attention to where it branches out or where there's one kind of like hanging off the edge here. Just some more shadows. I think I need to let this dry a little bit. Usually dries pretty quickly in the sun. And the less water you use, the faster it'll dry. And then you don't have to get the details really, really perfect in there because I usually go back in with pen or marker, and then you can add some of those details or just diagram. Remember, this is just a diagram. It's not a beautiful painting that you need to sell in an art gallery. And I think for me, that makes it so much more approachable because I used to, like as of a month ago, approach my art in a way that I tried to make every piece like count, right? If I'm going to spend this time, I need to make sure it's beautiful and amazing. And what I found was I just never painted. I just found myself avoiding it, making excuses and saying, you know, I'll do it later, or I have to get this piece of equipment, or I saw this one thing, or my painting setup isn't right, and, oh, there's no light here, just pretty much every excuse you could think of. And then I learned about nature journaling, and I said, whoa, like, okay, now you get an excuse to paint all the time. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, sometimes I just put a time limit on it, and I say, okay, well, this painting's gonna be 10 minutes. And then let's see how far I can get, or nature journal. All right, so as I'm doing this, I'm seeing this really neat kind of like, at the very bottom of this massive trunk, it's almost like these tendons. They look like tendons that kind of go up from the bottom, and they don't each become their own trunk. They kind of just like maybe hold all the trunks together. I don't know, kind of weird. But I would have never noticed that before. So what I've learned about nature journaling is that you kind of start with 3 questions, and I mentioned this to the people who walk by. The first is, what do I notice? And I'm doing that as I'm painting, right? Like, what am I looking at? What am I seeing here? And then what do I wonder? So in this case, I wonder what those tendon things are. I wonder why this tree is so much different than all the rest. I wonder what kind of animals make their home in it. And now that I'm looking at it, I don't know if I see any leaves. So I wonder if that tree's alive. And I wonder what it's seen in its lifetime of existence. I've been here a while. And this bench has been here since 2005, so he's been here at least, well, obviously he's been here that long, but people have been admiring him for that long. All right, so I kind of got some light brown and went in. This is not looking all that great, but I think when I go in there with the pen, I'll be able to kind of pull some of this out. So yeah, as I'm kind of looking closer here, there are just a lot of dead branches coming out of this guy. Okay. So now if I keep kind of messing with it here, it's just going to keep getting blurrier and blurrier, so I'm going to let these layers have a chance to dry. As I continue to mess with it, of course. Okay. All right. I hear more people coming, and they have kids, and I don't want to freak them out with the camera, so I'm gonna drop it. It's funny how the birds quiet down when they hear that. I know. Good morning. Hello.
Are you going everywhere?
I think so.
Are you painting?
I am painting,
Why
yeah.
are you painting everything?
I just like painting nature, because you notice a lot. I'm painting this tree.
You need to go on there's a lot of trees around here.
There are a lot of trees. I'm
Yeah,
going to be at this for a while.
while.
Thank you.
We really wish you could do every single tree.
I wish I could too. That would be
Because
amazing.
you don't have enough paper.
I don't. No,
Are
it's
you
adorable.
painting?
I am painting. Do you like to paint?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem.
Why are you painting there?
Because I like looking at the trees.
I'm amazing.
Should we go look at the robins,
All right, that was adorable. That group of kids came by earlier and saw me doing my other painting, and now they see me here. And I love their questions. Am I gonna paint all the trees? I wish you could paint all the trees. I wish I could paint all the trees too. What I have done. All right, all I'm doing now is kind of going in with some pen and adding shadows, but I really would rather do that with paint. So I'm going to take a number 4 round brush and grab some black, mix it here. I don't like using just black because it, I don't know, it's not that interesting. So I add some blue, I add some browns, and then you might see some duplicate colors here. I organized my palette here, watercolors, and then I learned about gouache, and I was like, oh, I gotta try this, and I love it. And so I added some of those down there. And so gouache is gouache like squash, that's how I remember it. It's another kind of paint that is water-based, like watercolor. However, it's like more matte. Like with watercolor, if you wanted a white cloud, you would have to make sure that you don't paint in that area, because once the paper is painted, you're not going back to white. But with gouache, it's like, sure, just add some white gouache paint there and you got yourself a cloud. And so I think that's really powerful and gives me so many more options, and it's just a little more forgiving. And then also the colors are kind of more deep and rich. Okay, so I'm going in with this blackish color and going into all the shadowy areas. There's a bird in this tree behind me. I don't know if you can see it. It's very active. Or maybe it's a squirrel, something rustling around. I feel very fortunate that I can be out here today doing this. The weather is super perfect, coming off of a lot of rain lately, and so it's nice to get outside and get inspired. Okay, so now I'm going to start bringing some of these branches out. I don't want this to be a forever painting, and I could do it forever, so we're going to start making some decisions. Whatever, 16 minutes so far? All right. We'll come in with these branches here. It's looking like this. Also, I skipped a page in my book. I'm going to have to go back. Oh, kind of dripping. Pull that paint up so it kind of dries evenly. And I don't need to go too dark or too perfect on this guy, because really the majority of this is, well, not the majority, but at least a third should be words. And so again, nature journaling. I notice, I wonder, and it reminds me of. I notice this is one giant tree and a bunch of them. What else am I noticing? What's new that I noticed? Oh, it has like this little pocket here, like where a bunch of the branches go real deep. That's kind of cool. I bet there's like some neat things that nest in there. And, you know, I'm always curious, like, how do trees decide when to grow branches? I was wondering that with the pine cones on the last one. All right. So now I give it a title. Coast Redwood. Here's what it looks like. I'm gonna go back in with pen. Again, you don't have to be an artist, as you can see, to do this. It's just a diagram. So I'll go back with pen when that dries. So I'm just gonna put Coast Redwood. I like to sign my name so I don't forget. And then I'm gonna say, the notice ones I'm gonna kind of write up with the picture, but the wonders I think I'm gonna write them down at the bottom. So I wonder, what lives in it? Is it alive? How old is it? Biggest question. Why is it the only one of its kind here? And all right. Some metadata. I'm going to put it on the side here because I don't have enough room. Made my painting too big again. Lesson for next time. So today is the 8th. And this is the Presidio Ecology Trail. Okay, more people coming. Alright, I'm still kind of waiting for the top to dry. But here's what I did. Gave it a title, asked some questions, put my metadata, left room for a couple more questions. We'll see what I don't get to in the drawing. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The kids will love it. 6 to 7 sub trunks. So I'm going to put a little like measuring thing. I'm going to say if I were to walk down there, maybe it's like 5 feet to where they branch. 5 feet. And then branching begins. So 6 to 7 branches, 5 feet till branching begins. I'm going to write here that the thickness of these branches, this is still kind of wet. Well, actually, let's do the little nest thing. What are we going to call that? Nested. So, I don't know. I'm going to say like large crevice where more branches begin. I'm gonna say no leaves. Dead. There's so many noises around me. There's sound of like a woodpecker. I can hear some hummingbirds. Crackling branches, terrifying. I should have drawn the birds. This tree, while interesting, is, I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot about the tendons. Tendons from bottom to initial branches. So now we gotta make those tendons. Okay. I'm going to write another question. How many species of birds live here? All right, so what I've done is I've made some labels about the number of branches. I talked about, there's no leaves, is it dead? I talked about the large crevice here, that this is about 5 feet tall. It's really the only number. Oh no, I have the 6, 7 branches. And then these tendons. I guess I could count the tendons. And then my questions at the bottom and my metadata. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 tendons. That's a lot. So here he is. I kind of want to give him a little title, like something about, I don't know, being the only one here or something. Anyway, I just gave it a little highlights with some markers. I added the number of tendons, and I think that is good for now. Just add the title here. What are we going to call it? I was kind of thinking The Mother, but I might be being influenced by Avatar. we just went on an Avatar binge and saw the third one. But that's really what it kind of looks like. I mean, it's not as grand as the mother tree in that, but I do think it, has all these like child branches, and it just looks so wise and like sure of itself. Is that what mothers look like? I don't know. Okay. No. I'm not so sure about that, but because the other ones have like saguaro as a title, But that's all right. The mother. Maybe I'll add a little byline. One of her kind, one of a kind. All right, one of a kind.